Let fame that all hunt after in their lives live registered upon our brazen tombs, and then grace us in the disgrace of death. When, spite of cormorant devouring time, the endeavor of this present breath may buy that honor which shall bait his side's keen edge and make us heirs of all eternity. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are that war against your own affections and the huge army of the world's desires, our late edict shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world. Our court shall be a little academe, still and contemplative in living art. You three, Biron, Dumaine, and Longueville, have sworn for 3 years' term to live with me, my fellow scholars, and to keep those statutes that are recorded in this schedule here. Your oaths are passed, and now subscribe your names.
I am resolved. 'Tis but a 3 years' fast. The mind shall banquet, though the body pine. Fat paunches have lean pates, and dainty bits make rich the ribs, but bankrupt quite the wits.
My loving lord, Dumaine is mortified. The grosser manner of these world's delights he throws upon the gross world's baser slaves. To love, to wealth, to pomp, I pine and die, with all these living in philosophy.
I can but say, their protestation over, so much, dear liege, have I already sworn, that is to live and study here 3 years. But there are other strict observances, as not to see a woman in that term, which I hope well is not enrolled there. And 1 day in the week to touch no food, and but 1 meal on every day beside, the which I hope is not enrolled there. And then to sleep but 3 hours in the night, and not be seen to wink of all the day, when I was wont to think no harm all night, and make a dark night too of half the day, the which I hope is not enrolled there. Oh, these are barren tasks, too hard to keep. Not to see ladies, study, fast, not sleep.
Your oath is passed to pass away from these.
Let me say no, my liege, and if you please, I only swore to study with your grace and stay here in your court for 3 years' space.
You swore to that, Baron, and to the rest.
By yea and nay, sir, then I swore in jest. What is the end of study? Let me know.
Why, that to know which else we would not know.
Study is like the heaven's glorious sun, that will not be deep searched with saucy looks. Small have continual plotters ever won, save base authority from others' books. These earthly godfathers of heaven's lights, that give a name to every fixed star, have no more profit of their shining nights than those that walk and wot not what they are. Too much to know is to know naught but fame, and every godfather can give a name.
Well, sit you out. Go home, Biron. Adieu.
No, my good lord, I have sworn to stay with you. And though I have for barbarism spoke more than for that angel knowledge you can say, yet confident, I'll keep what I have sworn, and by the penance of each 3 years' day, give me the paper, let me read the same, and to the strict decrees I'll write my name.
How well this yielding rescues thee from shame.
Item, that no woman shall come within a mile of my court. Hath this been proclaimed?
4 days ago.
Let's see the penalty. On pain of losing her tongue. Who devised this penalty?
Why, that did I.
Sweet lord, and why?
Fright them hence with that dread penalty.
A dangerous law against gentility. Item, if any man be seen to talk with a woman within the term of 3 years, he shall endure such public shame as the rest of the court can possibly devise. This article, my liege, yourself must break. For well you know, here comes an embassy, the French king's daughter, with yourself to speak, a maid of grace and complete majesty, about surrender up of Aquitaine to her decrepit, sick and bedrid father. Therefore this article is made in vain, or vainly comes the admired princess hither.
What say you, lords? Why, this was quite forgot.
So study evermore is overshot.
We must of force dispense with this decree. She must lie here on mere necessity.
Necessity will make us all forsworn 3,000 times within this 3-year space. But I believe, although I seem so loath, I am the last that will last keep his oath. But is there no quick recreation granted?
Aye, that there is. Our court, you know, is haunted with a refined traveller of Spain, a man in all the world's new fashion planted that hath a mint of phrases in his brain. This child of fancy that Armado hight, for interim to our studies, shall relate in high-born words the worth of many a knight from tawny Spain, lost in the world's debate.
Armado is a most illustrious wight, a man of fire, new words, fashion's own knight.
Costard the Swain and he shall be our sport. And so to study 3 years is but short.
Which is the Duke's own person?
This fellow, what words?
I myself reprehend his own person, for I am his Grace's Farberer. But I would see his own person in flesh and blood.
This is he.
Senior
Martyr?
commend you. There's villainy abroad. This letter will tell you more.
The matter is to me, sir, as concerning Jaquenetter. The manner of it is I was taken with the manor.
In what manner?
Oh, in manner and form following, sir, all those 3. I was seen with her in the manor house, sitting with her upon the form, and taken following her into the park, which, put together, is in manner and form following. Now, it is the manner of a man to speak to a woman, for the form, in some form.
Great deputy, the Welkins vice-regent and sole dominator of Navarre, my soul's earth's god and body's fostering patron.
Not a word of Costard yet.
So it is.
Maybe so, but if he says it is so, he isn't telling true but so.
Peace.
Be to me and every man that dares not fight.
No words.
For the men's secrets, I beseech you.
So it is, besieged with sable-coloured melancholy. I did commend the black oppressing humour to the most wholesome physic of thy health-giving air, and as I am a gentleman, betook myself to walk. The time when? About the 6th hour, when beasts most graze, birds best peck, and men sit down to that nourishment which is called supper. So much for the time when. Now for the ground which I mean I walked upon. It is yclept thy park. Then for the place where. Where, I mean, I did encounter that obscene and most preposterous event, that draweth from my snow-white pen the ebon-coloured ink, which here thou viewest, beholdest, surveyest, or seest. But to the place where. It standeth north-northeast and by east from the west corner of thy curious knotted garden. There did I see that low-spirited swain, that base minnow of thy mirth,
Me?
that unlettered small-knowing soul, that shallow vassal,
Still me?
which, as I remember, hight Costard.
Oh, me.
Sorted and consorted contrary to thy established proclaimed edict and continent canon, which with, but with this I passion to say, wherewith?
With a wench.
With a child of our grandmother Eve, a female, or for thy more sweet understanding, a woman. Him, I, as my ever-esteemed duty pricks me on, have sent to thee to receive the meed of punishment by thy sweet grace's officer Anthony Dull, a man of good repute, carriage, bearing, and estimation.
Me and shall please you. I am Anthony Dull.
For Jaquenetter, so is the weaker vessel called, which I apprehended with the aforesaid swain, keep her as a vessel of thy law's fury, and shall at the least of thy sweet notice bring her to trial. Thine in all compliments of devoted and heart-burning heat of duty, Don Adriano de Armado.
No, this is not so well as I looked for, but the best I ever heard.
Aye, the best for the worst. But, Sirrah, what say you to this?
Sir, I confess the wench.
Did you hear the proclamation?
Who confessed much of the hearing of it, little of the marking of it.
It was proclaimed a year's imprisonment to be taken with a wench.
Oh, I was taken with none, sir. I was taken with a damsel.
Well, it was proclaimed damsel.
This was no damsel neither, sir. She was a virgin.
It is so varied, too, for it was proclaimed virgin.
If it were, I deny her virginity. I was taken with a maid.
This maid will not serve your turn, sir.
Oh, this maid will serve my turn, sir.
Sir, I will pronounce your sentence. You shall fast a week on bran and water.
Sooner pray a month on mutton and porridge.
And Don Armado shall be your keeper. My Lord Biron, see him delivered all. And go we, lords, to put in practice that which each to other hath so strongly sworn.
Boy, what sign is it when a man of great spirit grows melancholy?
A great sign, sir, that he will look sad.
Why, sadness is one of the same thing, dear imp.
No, our lord, sir, no.
Oh, how canst thou part sadness and melancholy, my tender juvenile?
By a familiar demonstration of the working, my tough signor.
Why, tough senior? Why, tough senior?
Why, tender juvenal? Why, tender juvenal?
I spoke it, tender juvenile, as a congruent epitheton appertaining to thy young days, which we may nominate tender.
And I, tough signor, as an appurtenant title to your old time, which we may name tough.
I have promised to study 3 years with the Duke.
You may do it in an hour, sir.
Impossible.
How many is one thrice told?
I am ill at reckoning. It fitteth the spirit of a tapstar.
You are a gentleman and a gamester, sir.
I will hereupon confess. I am in love. And as it is law, base for a soldier to love, so am I in love with a base wench. Comfort me, boy. What great men have been in love?
Hercules, master.
Ah, most sweet Hercules. More authority, dear boy, nay more. And sweet my child, let them be men of good repute and carriage.
Samson, master. He was a man of great courage, for he carried the town gates on his back like a porter. And he was in love.
Ah, well-knit Samson, strong-jointed Samson. I do excel thee in my rapier, as thou didst me in carrying gates. I am in love, too. I do love that country girl I took in the park with the rational hind costard. She deserves well.
To be whipped, and yet a better love for my master.
Sing, boy, my spirit grows heavy in love.
And that's a great marvel, loving a light wench.
I say sing.
Forbear till this company be past.
Sir, the Duke's pleasure is that you keep Costard safe. And you must suffer him to take no delight nor no pleasure, but must fast 3 days a week. For this damsel we must keep her at the park. She is allowed for the day, woman. Fare you well.
I do betray myself with blushing. Maid.
Man,
I will visit thee at the lodge.
that's hereby.
I know where it is situated.
Oh, Lord, how wise you are.
I will tell thee wonders.
With that face.
I love thee.
Oh, so I heard you say.
And so farewell.
Fair weather after you.
Come, Jaquinetta, away!
Villain, thou shalt fast for thy offences, or be pardoned.
Oh, well, sir, I hope when I do it, I shall do it on a full stomach.
Or thou shalt be heavily punished.
More bounty to you than your fellows, for they are but lightly rewarded.
Take away this villain, shut him up.
Come, you transgressing slave, away!
Oh, let me not be pent up, sir. I will fast, being loose.
I do affect the very ground which is base where her shoe which is base her, guided by her foot which is baseless. The thread. I shall be forsworn, which is a great argument for falsehood if I love. And how can this be true love that is falsely attempted? Love is a familiar, love is a devil, there is no evil angel but love. Cupid's butt shaft is too much odds for a Spaniard's rapier. Adieu, valor! Rust, rapier, be still, rum, for thy manager is in love. Yea, he loveth. Assist me some extemporal god of rhyme, for I'm sure I tell terms sonnet. Devise wit, right pen, for I am for whole volumes in folio.
Good voyage. You are not ignorant, all telling fame doth noise abroad. Navarre hath made a vow. Till painful study shall outwear 3 years, no woman may approach his silent court. Therefore, to seemeth it a needful course, before we enter his forbidden gates, to know his pleasure, and on that behalf, bold of your worthiness, we single you as our best moving fair solicitor. Tell him the daughter of the King of France, on serious business craving quick dispatch, importunes personal conference with his grace. Haste, signify so much while we attend like humble visaged suitors his high will.
Proud of employment, willingly I go.
All pride is willing pride, and yours is so. The votaries, my loving lords, that avow fellows with this virtuous duke.
Lord Longville is one.
Know you the man?
I know him, madam. At a marriage feast between Lord Perigord and the beauteous heir of Jacques Falconbridge, solemnized in Normandy, saw I this Longaville. A man of sovereign parts he is esteemed, well fitted in arts, most glorious in arms. Nothing becomes him ill if he would it well.
Who are the rest?
The young Dumaine, a well-accomplished youth. I saw him at the Duke Alençon's once, and much too little of that good I saw is my report to his great worthiness.
Another of these students at that time was there with him, if I have heard it truth. Biron, they call him. But a merrier man, within the limit of becoming mirth. I never spent an hour's talk with all.
God bless my ladies, are they all in love, that every one her own hath garnished with such decking ornaments of praise?
Here comes Boyette.
Now, what admittance, lord?
Navarre had notice of your fair approach, and he and his competitors in oath were all addressed to meet you, gentle lady, before I came. Marry, thus much I have learnt. He rather means to lodge you in the field, like one that comes here to besiege his court, than seek a dispensation for his oath to let you enter his unpeopled house. Here comes Navarre.
Fair princess, welcome to the court of Navarre.
There I give you back again. And welcome I have not yet. The roof of this court is too high to be yours, and welcome to the wide fields too base to be mine.
You shall be welcome, madam, to my court.
I will be welcome then. Conduct me thither.
Hear me, dear lady. I have sworn an oath.
Our Lady help my lord, he'll be forsworn.
Not for the world, fair madam, by my will.
Why? Will shall break it, will and nothing else.
Your ladyship is ignorant what it is.
Well, my lord so his ignorance were wise, where now his knowledge must prove ignorance. I hear your grace hath sworn out housekeeping. 'Tis deadly sin to keep that oath, my lord, and sin to break it. But pardon me, I am too sudden bold. To teach a teacher ill beseemeth me. Vouchsafe to read the purpose of my coming, and suddenly resolve me in my suit.
Madam, I will, if suddenly I may.
You will the sooner that I were away, for you'll prove perjured if you make me stay.
Did not I dance with you in Brabant once?
Did I not dance with you in Brabant once?
I know you did.
How needless was it then to ask the question?
You must not be so quick.
'Tis long of you that spur me with such questions.
No, it's too hard. It speeds too fast. 'Twill tire.
Not till it leave the rider in the mire.
What time of day?
The hour that fools should ask.
A fair befall your mask,
Fair fool the face it covers.
and send you many lovers.
Amen. So you be none.
Nay, then will I be gone.
Madam, your father here doth intimate the payment of 100,000 crowns, being but the one half of an entire sum dispersed by my father in his wars. But say that he or we, as neither have, received that sum, yet there remains unpaid 100,000 more. In surety of the which one part of Aquitaine is bound to us, although not valued to the money's worth. If then the king, your father, will restore but that one half of that which is unsatisfied, we will give up our right in Aquitaine and hold fair friendship with his majesty. But that, it seems, he little purposeth. For here he doth demand to have repaid 100,000 crowns, and not demands upon payments of 100,000 crowns to have his title live in Aquitaine. The which we much rather had depart withal and have the money by our father lent than Aquitaine so gelded as it is. Dear princess, were not his requests so far from reason's yielding, your fair self should make a yielding against some reason in my breast, and go well satisfied to France again.
You do the king my father too much wrong, and wrong the reputation of your name, in so unseeming to confess receipt of that which hath so faithfully been paid.
I do protest I never heard of it. And if you prove it, I'll repay it back or yield up Aquitaine.
We arrest your word. Boyette, you can produce acquittances for such a sum from special officers of Charles his father.
Satisfy me, sir.
So please your grace, the packet is not come where that and other specialties are bound. Tomorrow you shall have a sight of them.
It shall suffice me. At which interview all liberal reason I will yield unto. Meantime receive such welcome at my hands as honor without breach of honor may make tender of to thy true worthiness. You may not come, fair princess, within my gates, but here without you shall be so received, as you shall deem yourself lodged in my heart, though so denied fair harbor in my house. Your own good thoughts excuse me and farewell. Tomorrow shall we visit you again.
Sweet health and fair desires consort your grace.
Thy own wish I thee in every place.
Lady, I do commend thee to mine own heart.
Oh, pray you do my commendations. I would be glad to see it.
Sir, I pray your word. What lady is that same?
The heir of Alanson, Catherine her name.
A gallant lady. Monsieur, fare thee well. I beseech your word. What is she in the white?
A woman sometimes, and you saw her in the light.
Perchance light in the light. I desire her name.
She is an heir of Falconbridge.
She is a most sweet lady.
Not unlike, sir, that may be.
What's her name in the cap?
Rosaline, by good hap.
Is she wedded or no?
To her will, Sir Rosay.
You're welcome, sir, adieu.
Oh, farewell to me, sir, and welcome to you.
That last is Biron, the merry madcap lord. Not a word with him, but a jest.
And every jest but a word.
It was well done of you to take him at his word.
I was as willing to grapple as he was to board. If my observation, which very seldom lies, by the heart's still rhetoric disclosed with eyes, deceive me not now, Navarre is infected.
With what?
With that which we lovers entitle affected.
Your reason.
Why? Methought all his senses were locked in his eye, as jewels in crystal for some prince to buy, who tendering their own worth from where they were glassed, did point you to buy them along as you passed. His face's own margent did quote such amazes, that all I saw his eyes enchanted with gazes. I'll give you Aquitaine, and all that is his, and you give him for my sake but one loving kiss.
Thou art an old love-monger and speak skillfully.
He is Cupid's grandfather and learns news.
Oh, then was Venus like a mother, for her father is but grim.
Do you hear my mad wenches?
No!
What then do you see?
Oh, where to be gone?
Gone to our pavilion, Boyet is disposed.
You are too hard for me.
Go, tenderness of years, take this key, give enlargement to the swain, bring him festinately hither. I must employ him in a letter to my love. The way is but short away.
Swift as that, sir.
The meaning, pretty ingenious, is not lead a metal heavy, dull and slow.
Many may honest master, or rather master know.
I say lead is slow.
You are too swift to say so, sir. Is that lead slow which is fired from a gun?
A most acute juvenile, voluble and free of grace. By thy favour, sweet welkin, undersign thy faith. Most rude Melchome, the Lord gives thee praise. Sir Costard, I will enfranchise thee.
Oh, marry me to one franchise. I smell some goose in this.
By my sweet soul, I mean setting thee at liberty and freedoming thy person. Thou art immured, restrained, captivated, bound.
True, true. Now you will be my purgation and let me loose.
I give thee thy liberty, set thee from durance. And in lieu thereof impose on thee nothing but this. Bear this significant to the country maid, Akenet. For there is remuneration. For the best ward of mine honor is rewarding my dependence. Must follow.
Like the sequel, aye. Sina Costard, adieu.
Adieu, my sweet ounce of man's flesh. My inconey Jew. Now will I look to his remuneration? Remuneration? Oh, that's the Latin word for 3 farthings. 3 farthings, remuneration. What's the price of this inkle? 1 penny? No, I'll give you a remuneration. Why, it carries it. Remuneration. 'Tis a fairer name than French crown. Never buy and sell out of this word.
Ah, my good knave Custard. Exceedingly well met.
Pray you, sir, how much carnation ribbon may a man buy for a remuneration?
What is a remuneration?
Marry, sir, halfpenny farthing.
Why, then 3 farthings worth of silk.
Oh, thank you, worship. God be with you.
Stay, slave. I must employ thee. As thou wilt win my favour, good my knave, do one thing for me that I shall entreat.
When would you have it done, sir?
This afternoon.
I will do it, sir. Fare you well.
Thou knowest not what it is.
I shall know, sir, when I have done it.
My villain, thou must know first.
I'll come to your worship tomorrow morning.
It must be done this afternoon. Hark, slave, it is but this. The princess comes to hunt here in the park. And in her train there is a gentle lady. When tongues speak sweetly, then they name her name, and Rosaline they call her. Now ask for her, and to her white hand do thou commend this sealed up counsel. There's thy guerdon.
Guerdon? Oh, most sweet guerdon. It's better than remuneration. 11 pence farthing better. Oh, most sweet guerdon. I will do it, sir, in print. Guerdon. Remuneration?
And I, forsooth, in love. I, that have been love's whip, a very beadle to a humorous sigh, a critic, nay, a night-watch constable, a domineering pedant o'er the boy, than whom no mortal so magnificent. This wimpled, whining, purblind, wayward boy, this senior, junior, giant dwarf, Dan Cupid, dread prince of plackets, king of codpieces, sole imperator and great general of trotting characters. Oh, my little heart. And I to be a corporal of his field, and wear his colours like a tumbler's hoop. What, I love? I sue? I seek a wife? A woman that is like a German clock, still a-repairing, ever out of frame, never going aright, being a watch, but being watched that it may still go right. Nay, to be perjured, which is worst of all. And among three, to love the worst of all. A whitely wanton with a velvet brow, with two pitch balls stuck in her face for eyes. Aye, and by heaven, one that will do the deed, though Argus were her eunuch and her guard, and I to sigh for her, to watch for her, to pray for her. Go to. It is a plague that Cupid will impose for my neglect of his almighty, dreadful little might. Well, I will love, write, sigh, pray, sue, and groan. Some men must love my lady, and some Joan.
Well, lords, today we shall have our dispatch. On Saturday, we shall return to France. Then, Forrester, my friend, where is the bush that we must stand and play the murderer in?
Hereby upon the edge of yonder coppice. A stand where you may make the fairest shoot.
Here comes a member of the Commonwealth.
Oh, good dig you, Dan, all. Pray you, which is the head lady?
Thou shalt know her, fellow, by the rest that have no heads.
Oh, which is the greatest lady, the highest?
The thickest and the tallest.
The thickest and the tallest. It is so. Truth is truth. And your waist, mistress, were as slender as my wit. One of these maids' girdles for your waist should be fit. Are you not the chief woman? You are the thickest here.
What's your will, sir? What's your will?
I have a letter from Monsieur Baron to one Lady Rosaline.
Oh, thy letter, thy letter. He's a good friend of mine. Stand aside, good bearer. Here, Boyet, you can carve. Break off this capon.
I am bound to serve. Oh, this letter is mistook. It importeth none here. It is writ to Jacquinetta.
We will read it, I swear. Break the neck of the wax and everyone give ear.
By heaven that thou art fair is most infallible. True that thou art beauteous, truth itself that thou art lovely. More fair than fair, beautiful than beauteous, truer than truth itself, have commiseration on thy heroical vassal. King Cophetua set eye upon the pernicious and indubitate beggar Sinellophon, and he it was that might rightly say, Veni, vidi, vici. He came one, saw two, overcame three. Who came? The king. Why did he come? To see. Why did he see? To overcome. To whom came he? To the beggar. What saw he? The beggar. Who overcame he?
The beggar!
The conclusion is victory. On whose side? The king's. The captive is enriched. On whose side?
The
king's.
The beggar. I am the king, for so stands the comparison. Thou the beggar, for so witnesseth thy lowliness. Shall I command thy love? I may. Shall I enforce thy love? I could. Shall I entreat thy love? I will. What shalt thou exchange for rags? Robes? For tittles? Titles. For thyself, me. Thus, expecting thy reply, I profane my lips on thy foot, my eyes on thy picture, and my heart on thy every part. Thine in the dearest design of industry, Don Adriano de Amado.
What vein of brothers is he that indited this letter? What vein, what weathercock did you ever hear better?
I am much deceived, but I remember the style.
Else your memory is bad going o'er it a while.
This Armado is a Spaniard that keeps here in court. Oh, a Fantasime, a Monarcho, and one that makes sport to the prince and his bookmates.
Thou, fellow, a word. Who gave thee this letter?
Oh, I told you, my lord.
To whom shouldst thou give it?
From my lord to my lady?
From which lord to which lady?
Oh, from my Lord Baron. He's a good master of mine, to one lady of France that he called Rosalie.
Thou hast mistaken his letter. Come, lords, away. Here, sweet, put up this. 'Twill be thine another day.
A very reverend sport, truly, and done in the testimony of a good conscience.
The deer was, as you know, sanguis, in blood, ripe as the poppy water, who now hangeth like a jewel on the ear of Kylo, the sky, the welkin, the heaven, and anon falleth, like a crab on the face of terror, the soil, the land, the earth.
Truly, Master Holofernes, the epithets were sweetly varied, like a scholar at the least, but I can assure ye it was a buck of the first head.
Sir Nathaniel hoed cray doe.
'Twas not an old grey doe. 'Twas a pricket.
Most barbarous intimation. Yet a kind of insinuation as 'twere in vire, in way of explication. Fecare as 'twere replication. Or rather ostentare to show as twere his inclination after his undressed, unpolished, uneducated, unpruned, untrained, or rather unlettered, or rather unconfirmed fashion. To insert again my hoed cray doe for a deer.
Hoed cray doe.
Old cray doe. Hoed cray doe.
You two are bookmen. can you tell me by your wit what were a month old at Cain's birth that's not 5 weeks old as yet?
Dick Tinner, good man Dull. Dick Tinner, good man Dull.
What's Dick Tinner?
Oh, a title to Phoebe.
Eh?
To Luna.
Eh?
To the moon. The moon was a month old when Adam was no more, and wrought not to 5 weeks when he came to 5 score. Ha! Oh, the illusion holds in the exchange.
Tis true indeed. The collusion holds in the exchange.
I say the illusion holds in the exchange.
And I say the pollution holds in the exchange.
Sir Nathaniel? Oh, would it please you to hear an extemporal epitaph on the death of the deer? And to humour the ignorant, I will call the deer the princess killed a pricket.
Pergay, good master Holofernes, Pergay. And so it please you to abrogate scurrility.
Oh, I will something affect the letter, pa, for it argues facility. The prayful princess pierced and pricked a pretty, pleasing pricket. Some say a saw, yet not a saw till now made sore with shooting.
Oh.
The dogs did yell, put L to saw, then sorrel jumps from thicket. Or pricket saw, or else sorrel, the people fall a hooting. If saw be saw, then L to saw makes 50 saws of sorrel, and of one saw I 100 make by adding but one more L. One more L.
Oh. Wow, a rare talent.
If a talent be a claw, see how he claws him with a talent.
This is a gift that I have. Simple, a foolish, extravagant spirit, full of forms, figures, shapes, objects, ideas, apprehensions, motions, revolutions. These are begot in the ventricle of memory, nourished in the womb of Pyamata, and delivered on the mellowing of occasion. But the gift is good in those in whom it's acute, and I am thankful for it.
Oh, sir, I praise the Lord for you, and so may my parishioners, for their sons are well tutored by you, and their daughters profit very greatly under you. You're a good member of the Commonwealth.
May Hercley. If their sons be ingenious, they shall want no instruction. If their daughters be capable, I shall put it to them. But via sapit qui pauca loquitur. Oh, a soul feminine saluteth us.
God give you good morrow, Master Person.
Master Person?
Good Master Person, be so good as read me this letter. It was given me by Costard and sent me from Don Armado. I beseech you read it.
If knowledge be the mark, to know thee shall suffice. Well learned is that tongue, that well can thee commend. All ignorant that soul, that sees thee without wonder. Which is to me some praise, that I thy parts admire. Thy eye Jove's lightning bears. Thy voice is dreadful thunder, which not to anger bent is music and sweet fire. Celestial as thou art, oh, pardon, love, this wrong, that sings heaven's praise with such unearthly tongue.
But, Damosel, a virgin, was this addressed to you?
Aye, sir.
I will overglance the superscript. Oh. To the snow-white hand of the most beauteous Lady Rosaline. Oh, I will look again upon the intellect of the letter for the nomination of the party writing to the person written out to.
Yeah.
Your ladyships in all desired employment, Biron. Sir Nathaniel. This Biron is one of the votaries with the king. And here he hath framed this letter to a sequent of the stranger queens, which accidentally, or by the way of progression, hath miscarried. Trip and go, my sweet. And deliver this paper into the most royal hand of the king. It may concern much. Oh, stay not thy compliment. I forgive thy duty. Adieu.
Good Costard, go with me.
Sir, God save your life.
Have with thee, my girl.
Oh. I do dine today at the father's of a certain pupil of mine, where, if before repast it should please you to gratify the table with a grace, I will, on the privilege that I have with the parents of the aforesaid child or pupil, undertake your benvenuto. Sir, I do invite you too.
I'm sorry.
You shall not say me nay, pauca verba. Away! The gentles are at their game, and we will to our recreation. Oh.
The king, he is hunting the deer. I am coursing myself. They've pitched a toil. I am toiling in a pitch that defiles, defile, a foul word. Oh, by the Lord, this love is as mad as Ajax. It kills sheep. It kills me. I, sheep, well proved again on my side. I will not love. If I do, hang me. In faith, I will not. Ah, but her eye. By this light, but for her eye, I would not love her. Yes, for her 2 eyes, well. I do nothing in the world but lie, and lie in my throat. By heaven, I do love. And it hath taught me how to rhyme and be melancholy. And here is part of my rhyme, and here my melancholy. Well, she hath one of my sonnets already. The clown bore it, the fool sent it, and the lady hath it. Sweet clown, sweeter fool, sweetest lady. By the world, I would not care a pin if the other 3 were in. There comes one with a paper. God, give him grace to groan.
Ay, me.
Shot, by heaven. Proceed, sweet Cupid. Thou hast thumped him with thy bird bolt under the left pap. In faith, secrets.
So sweet a kiss, the golden sun gives not to... So sweet a kiss, the golden sun gives not to those fresh morning drops upon the rose, as thy eye beams when their fresh rays have smote the night of dew that on my cheeks down flows. Nor shines the silver moon one half so bright through the transparent bosom of the deep, as doth thy face through tears of mine give light. Thou shinest in every tear that I do weep, no drop but as a coach doth carry thee, so ridest thou triumphing in my woe. Do but behold the tears that well in me, and they thy glory through my griefs will show. But do not love thyself. Then thou wilt keep my tears for glasses and still make me weep. O Queen of Queens, how far dost thou excel? No thought can think, no tongue of mortal tell. How shall she know my griefs? I'll drop the paper. Sweet leaves, shade folly. Hoist comes here. What long have you been reading? Listen here.
Now in thy likeness, one more fool appear.
I'm me. I am forsworn.
In love, I hope, sweet fellowship and shame.
One drunkard loves another of the name.
Am I the first to have been perjured so?
I could put thee in comfort, not by two that I know.
I fear these stubborn lines lack power to move. O sweet Maria, empress of my love. These numbers will I tear and write in prose.
Rhymes are guards on wanton Cupid's hose. Disfigure not his shop.
Did not the heavenly rhetoric of thine eye, 'gainst whom the world cannot hold argument, persuade my heart to this false perjury, vows for thee broke deserve not punishment. A woman I forswore, but I will prove, thou being goddess, I forswore not thee. My vow was earthly, thou a heavenly love. Thy grace being gained, cures all disgrace in me. Vows are but breath, and breath a vapor is. Then thou, fair sun, which on my earth dost shine, exhales this vapor vow. In thee it is if broken then. 'Tis no fault of mine. If by me broke, what fool is not so wise to lose an oath to win a paradise?
God amend us. God amend. We are much out of the way.
By whom shall I send this? Company, stay.
All hid. All hid. An old infant play. Like a demigod, here sit I in the sky, and wretched fools' secrets heedfully o'er I. More sacks to the mill. Oh, heavens, I have my wish. Dumaine transformed. 4 woodcocks in a dish.
Oh, most divine Kate.
Oh, most profane coxcomb.
Oh, that I had my wish.
And I had mine.
And I mine too, good lord.
Amen, so I had mine. Is not that a good word?
I would forget her, but a fever, she reigns in my blood and will remembered be.
A fever in your blood? Why, then incision would let her out in sauces. Oh, sweetness presume.
Once more I'll read the ode that I have writ.
Once more I'll mark how love can vary wit.
On a day, alack the day, love whose month was ever May, spider blossom, passing fair, playing in the wanton air. Through the velvet leaves the wind all unseen can passage find, that the lover, sick to death, wished himself the heaven's breath. Do not call it sin in me that I am forsworn for thee. Thou, for whom Jove would swear Juno but an Aethiop were, and deny himself for Jove, turning mortal for thy love.
This will I send, and something else more plain, that shall express my true love's fasting pain.
Do you mean thy love is far from charity, that in love's grief desires society? You may look pale, but I should blush, I know, to be o'erheard and taken napping so.
Come, sir, you blush. As is your case as such, you chide at him offending twice as much. You do not love Maria. Longfield did never sonnet for her sake compile, nor never lay his wreathed arms athwart his loving bosom to keep down his heart. I have been closely shrouded in this bush, and marked you both, and for you both did blush. I heard your guilty rhymes, observed your fashion, saw sighs reek from you, noted well your passion. Aye, me, says one. Oh, Jove, the other cries. One, her hairs were gold, crystal the other's eyes. You would for paradise break faith and troth, and Jove for your love would infringe an oath. What will Biron say? when that he shall hear her faith infringed which such zeal did swear? How will he scorn? How will he spend his wit? How will he triumph, leap, and laugh at it? For all the wealth that ever I did see, I would not have him know so much by me.
Ah, good my liege, I pray thee pardon me. Good heart, what grace hadst thou thus to reprove these worms for loving that are most in love? Your eyes do make no coaches, In your tears there is no certain princess that appears? But are you not ashamed? Nay, are you not, all three of you, to be thus much o'ershot army? With what strict patience have I sat to see a king transformed to a gnat? Where lies thy grief? Oh, tell me, good Domain, and gentle Longueville, where lies thy pain, and where my lieges? All about the breast. A caudle hoe.
Too bitter is thy jest. Are we betrayed thus to thy elder view?
Not you to me, but I betrayed by you. I that am honest. I that hold it sin to break the vow I am engaged in. I am betrayed. Aye, by keeping company with moonlike men, men of inconstancy. When shall you see me write a thing in rhyme, or groan for Joan, or waste a minute's time in proding me? When you shall hear that I will praise a hand, a foot, a face, an eye, a gait, a state, a brow, a breast, a waist, a leg, a limb.
Soft, whither away so fast? A true man or a thief that gallops so?
I post from love, good lover, let me go.
God bless the king.
What present hast thou here?
Some certain treason.
What makes treason here?
Nay, it makes nothing, sir.
And if it mar nothing neither, the treason and you go away in peace together.
I beseech your grace, let this letter be read. Our person misdoubts it. 'Twas treason, he said.
Biron, read it over. Where hadst thou it?
Of Costard.
Where hadst thou it?
Dan Adramadio, Dan Adramadio.
How now, what is in you? Why dost thou tear it?
It's a toy, my liege, a toy. Your grace needs not fear it.
It did move him to a passion, therefore let's hear it.
It's Biron's writing, look. There's his name.
You awesome loggerhead, you are born to do me shame. Guilty, my lord, guilty. I confess, I confess.
What?
That you three fools lacked me, fool, to make up the mess. Oh, dismiss this audience and I will tell you more.
Now the number's even.
True, true, we are four. Will these turtles be gone?
Hence, sirs, away.
Walk aside the true folk and let the traitors stay.
Sweet lords, sweet lovers, let us embrace. As true we are as flesh and blood can be. The sea will ebb and flow, heaven show his face. Young blood doth obey an old decree. We cannot cross the cause why we were born, therefore of all hands must we be forsworn.
What, did these rent lines show some love of thine?
Did they, quoth you? Who sees the heavenly Rosaline? That like a rude and savage man of Inde, to the first opening of the gorgeous east, bows not his vassal head, and stricken blind, kisses the base ground with obedient breast.
What zeal, what fury hath inspired thee now? My love, her mistress is a bright moon, she an attending star, scarce seen a light. But what of this? Are we not all in love?
Nothing so sure. And thereby all forsworn.
Then leave this chat. And good Biron, now prove our loving lawful and our faith not torn.
Aye. Marry, there's some flattery for this evil.
Some authority how to proceed. Some tricks, some quillets. How to cheat the devil.
Some sour for perjury.
What is more than need? Have at you, then. Affection's men-at-arms. Now, consider what you first did swear unto. We have made a vow to study laws. And in that vow we have forsworn our books. For when would you, my lord, or you, have found the ground of study's excellence without the beauty of a woman's face? Where is any author in the world teaches such beauty as a woman's eye? For love, first learned in a lady's eyes, lives not alone, immured in the brain, but with the motion of all elements, courses as swift as thought in every power, and gives to every power a double power, above their functions and their offices. It adds a precious seeing to the eye. A lover's eyes will gaze an eagle blind. A lover's ear will hear the lowest sound. Love's feeling is more soft and sensible than are the tender horns of cockled snails. Love's tongue proves dainty Bacchus gross in taste. For valor, is not love a Hercules, still climbing trees in the Hesperides, subtle as Sphinx, as sweet and musical as bright Apollo's lute strung with his hair? And when love speaks, the voice of all the gods make heaven drowsy with the harmony. Never durst poet touch a pen to write until his ink were tempered with love's sighs. From women's eyes, this doctrine I derive. They sparkle still the right Promethean fire. They are the books, the arts, the academes that show, contain, and nourish all the world. Else none at all in aught proves excellent. Then fools you were these women to forswear. Or keeping what is sworn you will prove fools. For wisdom's sake, a word that all men love, or for love's sake, a word that loves all men, or for men's sake, the authors of these women, or for women's sake, by whom we men are men. Let us once lose our oaths to find ourselves, or else we lose ourselves to keep our oaths. It is religion to be thus forsworn, for charity itself fulfills the law, and who can sever love from charity?
Saint Cupid, then, and soldiers to the field.
Advance your standards and up on them, lords, pell-mell, down with them. But be first advised that in conflict you get the son of them.
Now to plain dealing, lay these glozes by. Shall we resolve to woo these girls of France?
And win them too. Therefore let us devise some entertainment for them in their tents.
First from the park let us conduct them hither, then forward every man attach the hand of his fair mistress.
Away, away, let no time be omitted that will be time and may by us be fitted.
Sed quid sufficit. Sir, I praise God for you. Your reasons at dinner have been sharp and sententious, pleasant without scurrility, witty without affection, audacious without impudency, learned without opinion, and strange without heresy. I did converse this I did converse this quondam day with a companion of the king's, who is intituled, nominated, or called Don Adriano d'Amado.
Novi hominem tamquam te. His humour is lofty, his discourse peremptory, his tongue filed, his eye ambitious, his gait majestical, and his general behaviour vain, ridiculous, and thrasonical. He's too picked, too spruce, too affected, too odd as 'twere, too peregrinate, as I may call it.
Oh, a most singular and choice epithet.
He draweth out the thread of his verbosity finer than the staple of his argument. I abhor such fanatical fantasies, such insociable and point de vise companions, such rackers of orthography, as to say doubt, finny, when he should say doubt, debt, when he should pronounce dept, D-E-B-T, not D-E-T. He clappeth a calf, calf, half, half, neighbour, vocata, never, nay, abbreviated ne. This is abominable, what he would call abominable. It insinuateth me of insani. Ne intelligis, Domini, to make frantic, lunatic.
Oh, laus Deo, bone intelligio.
Bone? Oh, bone for Benny. Priscian, a little scratched. 'Twill serve.
Ah, vitisne, quis venit?
Oh, video et gaudio.
Shira!
Quare chira, not syrah.
Menapis, well encountered.
Most military, sir. Salutation.
There have been a great feast of languages, and have stolen the scraps.
Oh, they have lived long on the alms basket of words. I marvel thy master hath not eaten thee for a word. For thou art not so long by the head as honorific habilitudini tatibus. Thou art easier swallowed than a flat dragon.
Peace, the peal begins.
Artsman, preambulate. We will be singled from the barbaros.
Do you not educate youth at the charge house on the top of the mountain?
Or Mons, the hill?
Ah, at your sweet pleasure for the mountain.
I do, sans question.
Sir, it is the king's most sweet pleasure and affection to congratulate the princess at her pavilion in the posteriors of this day, which the rude multitude call the afternoon.
The posteriors of the day, most generous sir, is liable, congruent, and measurable for the afternoon. The word is well chose, cull, choice, sweet, and apt, I do assure you, sir, I do assure. Posterior of the day.
Sir, the king is a noble gentleman, and my familiar, I do assure ye, very good friend. For what is inward between us? Let it pass. I must tell thee, it will please his grace by the world sometimes to lean upon my poor shoulder and with his royal finger thus dally with my excrown, with my mustachios. But, sweetheart, let it pass. By the world, I do recount no fable. Some certain special honors it pleases it greatest to impart to Armado, a soldier, a man of travel, that hath seen the world. But let that pass. The very all of all is, but, sweetheart, I do implore secrecy. The king would have me present the princess, sweet shepherd, with some delightful ostentation. Or show a pageant or antic or fiery work. Now, understanding that the curate and your sweet self are good at such eruptions and sudden breaking out of mirth, as it were, I have acquainted you with all to the end to crave your assistance.
Sir, you shall present before her the 9 worthies. Sir Nathaniel, as concerning some entertainment of time or show to be rendered by ourselves, the king's command, and this most gallant gentleman in the posteriors of this day, before the princess, I say none so fit as to present the 9 worthies.
Oh, but where shall we find men worthy enough to present them?
Joshua, yourself. Myself. And this gallant gentleman, Judas Maccabeus. This swain, because of his great limb or joint, shall pass Pompey the Great. The page, Hercules.
Pardon, sir, error. He is not quantity enough for that worthy sum. He is not so big as the end of his club.
Shall I have audience? He shall present Hercules in minority. His enter and exit shall be strangling a snake, and I'll have an apology for that purpose.
An excellent device. So if any of the audience hiss, you may cry, "Well done, Hercules! Now thou crushest the snake." That is the way to make an offence gracious. And few have the grace to do it.
For the rest of the worthies,
I will play 3 myself.
Thrice worthy gentlemen.
Shall I tell you a thing?
We attend.
We shall have, if this fadge not an antic. I beseech thee follow.
Fire! Good man Dull, thou hast spoken no word all this while.
Nor understand none neither, sir.
Allons, we shall employ thee.
I will make one in a dance or so. Or I will play on the tabor to the worthies and let them dance the hay.
Most dull, honest Dull. To our sport, away.
Sweethearts, we shall be rich ere we depart if fairings come thus plentifully in. A lady walled about with diamonds. Look ye what I have from the loving king.
Madam, came nothing else along with that?
Oh, nothing but this. Yes, as much love in rhyme as would be crammed up in a sheet of paper, writ on both sides, the leaf, the margent, and all, that he was fain to seal on Cupid's name.
That were the way to make his godhead wax. For he hath been 5,000 years a boy.
Aye, and a shrewd unhappy gallows too. But Rosaline, you have a favour too. Who sent it and what is it?
I would you knew. And if my face were but as fair as yours, my favour were as great. Be witness this. Nay, I have verses too, I thank Barone. The numbers true. And were the numbering too, I were the fairest goddess on the ground. I am compared to 20,000 fairs. Oh, he hath drawn my picture in this letter.
Anything like?
Much in the letters, nothing in the praise.
But Catherine, what was sent to you from fair Domain?
Madam, this glove.
Did he not send you 12?
Yes, madam, and moreover some 1,000 verses of a faithful love. A huge translation of hypocrisy, vilely compiled, profound simplicity.
This and these pearls to me sent long ago. The letter is too long by half a mile.
I think no less. Dost thou not wish in heart the chain were longer and the letter short?
Aye, or I would these hands might never part.
Oh, we are wise girls to mock our lovers so.
They are worse fools to purchase mocking so. That same Barone I'll torture ere I go. Oh, that I knew he were but in by the week.
Ah, here comes Boyette, and mirth is in his face.
Oh, I'm stabbed with laughter. Where's her grace?
Thy news, Boyette?
Prepare, madam, prepare. Arm, wenches, arm. Encounters mounted are against your peace. Love doth approach disguised, armed in arguments. You be surprised. Muster your wits, stand in your own defence, or hide your heads like cowards and fly hence.
St. Denis to St. Cupid, who are they that charge their breath against us? Say, scout, say.
Under the cool shade of a sycamore, I thought to close mine eyes some half an hour, when lo, to interrupt my purposed rest, towards that shade I might behold address the king and his companions. Warily I stole into a neighbour thicket by, and overheard what you shall overhear, that by and by disguised they will be here. Their herald is a pretty knavish page that well by heart hath conned his embassage. Action and accent did they teach him there, thus must thou speak, and thus thy body bear. And ever and anon they made a doubt presence majestical would put him out, for, quoth the king, an angel shalt thou see. Yet fear not thou, but speak audaciously.
But what, come they to visit us?
They do, and are apparelled thus, like Muscovites or Russians, as I guess. Their purpose is to parley, court, and dance, and every one his love feat will advance unto his several mistress, which they'll know by favours several which they did bestow.
And will they so? The gallants shall be tasked. For ladies, we will every one of us be masked, and not a man of them shall have the grace, despite of suit, to see a lady's face. Hold, Rosaline, this favour thou shalt wear, so shall the king court thee for his dear. Hold, take thou this, my sweet, and give me thine, so shall Barone take me for Rosaline. And change your favours too, so shall your loves move contrary, deceived by these removes.
And where the favour's most in sight.
But in this changing, what is your intent?
The effect of my intent is to cross theirs. They do it but in mockery, merriment, and mock for mock is only my intent. Their several counsel they unbosom shall to love's mistook, and so be mocked withal upon the next occasion that we meet with visages displayed to talk and greet.
But shall we dance if they desire us to it?
No. To the death we will not move a foot, nor to their pen's speech render we no grace, but while 'tis spoke, each turn away her face.
Why, that contempt will kill the speaker's heart and quite divorce his memory from his tongue.
Therefore I do it, and I make no doubt the rest will ne'er come in if he be out. Oh, there's no such sport as sport by sport o'erthrown, to make theirs ours and ours none but our own. So shall we stay, mocking intended game, while they, well mocked, depart away with shame.
The trumpet sounds. Be masked. The maskers come.
All hail! The richest beauties on the earth!
Beauty's no richer than rich taffeta.
A holy parcel of the fairest dames! That ever turn their backs to mortal views!
Their eyes, villain, their eyes!
That ever turn their eyes to mortal views! Out!
True, out indeed.
Out of your favours, heavenly spirits! Vouchsafe! Not to behold!
Once to behold, rogue!
Once to behold with your sun-beamed eyes! With your sun-beamed eyes!
They will not answer to that epithet. You will best call it daughter-beamed eyes.
Do not mark me, and that brings me out.
Is this your perfect history? Gone, rogue!
What would these strangers? Know their minds, Boyette. If they do speak our language, 'tis our will that some plain man recount their purposes. Know what they would.
What would you with a princess?
Nothing but peace and gentle visitation.
What would they, say they?
Nothing but peace and gentle visitation.
Why, that they have. And bid them so be gone.
She says you have it, and you may be gone.
Say to her, we have measured many miles to tread a measure with her on this grass.
They say that they have measured many a mile to tread a measure with you on this grass.
It is not so. Ask them how many inches is in 1 mile. If they have travelled many, the measure then of one is easily told.
If to come hither you have measured miles and many miles, the princess bids you tell how many inches doth fill up 1 mile.
Tell her we measure them with weary steps.
She hears herself.
How many weary steps of many weary miles you have all gone, are numbered in the travel of 1 mile.
We number nothing that we spend for you. Our duty is so rich, so infinite, that we may do it still without a count. Vouchsafe to show the sunshine of your face, that we, like savages, may worship it.
My face is but a moon, and clouded too.
Blessed are clouds to do as such clouds do. Vouchsafe, bright moon, and these thy stars to shine, those clouds removed upon our watery Ain.
Oh, vain petitioner, beg a greater matter. Thou now requests but moonshine in the water.
Then in our measure vouchsafe but one change. Thou bids me beg, this begging is not strange.
Play music, then.
Right.
Nay, you must do it soon.
Not
yet.
Yeah.
No, took the moon.
Will you not dance? How come you thus strange?
You took the moon at full, but now she's changed.
Yet still she's the moon and I the man. The music plays, vouchsafe some motion to it.
Our ears vouchsafe it.
But your legs should do it.
Since you are strangers and come here by chance, we'll not be nice. Take hands. We will not dance.
Why take we hands then?
Only to part friends. Curtsy, sweethearts. And so the measure ends.
More measure of this measure be not nice.
We can afford no more at such a price.
Price you yourselves. What buys your company?
Your absence only.
That can never be.
Then cannot we be bought? And so adieu. Twice to your visor, and half once to you.
If you deny to dance, let's hold more chat.
In private, then.
I'm best pleased with that.
White-handed mistress, one sweet word with thee.
Honey and milk and sugar, there are 3.
One word in secret.
Let it not be sweet.
Thou grievest my gall.
Gall bitter.
Aha! Meat!
Will you vouchsafe with me to change a word?
Name it.
Fair lady.
Say you so? Fair lord, take that for your fair lady.
Please it you as much in private, and I'll bid adieu.
What? Was your visor made without a tongue?
I know the reason, lady, why you
Oh,
ask.
for your reason, quickly, sir, I long.
You have a double tongue within your mask.
One word with you in private ere I die.
Bleat softly, then. The butcher hears your cry.
The tongues of mocking wenches are as keen as is the razor's edge invisible, cutting a smaller hair than may be seen. Above the sense of sense, so sensible seemeth their conference. Their conceits have wings, fleeter than arrows. Bullets win thought, swifter things.
Not one word more, my maid! Break off! Break off!
By heaven, all dry beaten with pure scoff.
Farewell, mad wenches. You have simple wits.
20 adieus, my frozen Muscovies. Are these the people which so wondered at?
Oh, they were all in lamentable cases. The king was weeping ripe for a good word.
Roan has sworn himself out of horse.
Dumaine was at my service, and his sword. No point, quoth I. My servant straight was mute. Lord Longaville said I came o'er his heart and trow you what he called me.
Qualm, perhaps.
Yes, in good faith.
Go, sickness as thou art.
Better wits have worn plain statue caps. But will you hear? The king is my love sworn.
And quick Barone has plighted faith to me.
And Longaville was for my service born. Dumaine is mine, as sure as bark on tree.
Madam and pretty mistresses, give ear. Immediately they will again be here in their own shapes, for it can never be they will digest this harsh indignity.
Will they return?
They will, God knows, and leap for joy though they are lame with blows. Therefore change favours, and when they repair, blow like sweet roses in this summer air.
How blow, how blow? Speak to be understood.
Fair ladies masked are roses in their bud. Dismasked, their damask sweet commixture shown are angels veiling clouds or roses blown.
Warned perplexity. What shall we do if they return in their own shapes to rule?
Good madam, if by me you'll be advised, let's mock them still, as well known as disguised. Let us complain to them what fools we're here, disguised like Muscovites in shapeless gear, and wonder what they were and to what end their shallow shows and prologue vilely penned, and their rough carriage so ridiculous should be presented at our tent to us.
Ladies, withdraw. The gallants are at hand.
Quick to our tents as roes run all around.
Sir, God save you. Where's the princess?
Gone to her tent. Please it your majesty command me any service to her thither.
That ye vouchsafe me audience for one word.
I will. And so will she, I know, my lord.
This fellow pecks up wit as pigeons peas, and utters it again when God doth please, and can carve too, and lisp. Why, this is he that kissed his hand away in courtesy. This is the flower that smiles on everyone to show his teeth as white as whaley's bone. And consciences that will not die in debt, pay him the due of honey-tongued boyette.
There blister on his sweet tongue with my heart, that put Armado's page out of his part.
See where it comes. Behaviour, what wert thou till this madman showed thee? And what art thou now?
All hail, sweet madam, and fair time of day.
Fair in all hail is foul, as I can see.
Construe my speeches better, if you may.
Then wish me better. I will give you leave.
We came to visit you, and purpose now to lead you to our court. Vouchsafe it then.
This field shall hold me, and so hold your vow. Nor God nor I delights in perjured men.
Oh. You have lived in desolation here, unseen, unvisited, much to our shame.
It is not so, my lord, it is not so, I swear. We have had pastimes here and pleasant game. A mess of Russians left us but of late.
How, madam? Russians?
Aye, in truth, my lord, trim gallants, full of courtship and of state.
Mad. Speak true. It is not so, my lord. My lady, to the manner of the days, in courtesy gives undeserving praise. We four, indeed, confronted were with four in Russian habit. Here they stayed an hour, and talked apace. And in that hour, my lord, they did not bless us with one happy word. I dare not call them fools, but this I think, when they are thirsty, fools would fain have drink.
This jest is dry to me. My gentle sweet, your wit makes wise things foolish. When we greet with eyes best seeing, heaven's fiery eye, by light we lose light. Your capacity is that nature that to your huge store, wise things seem foolish and rich things but poor.
This proves you wise and rich, for in my eye...
I am a fool and full of poverty.
But that you take what doth to you belong, it were a fault to snatch words from my tongue.
I am yours, and all that I possess.
All the fool mine.
I cannot give you less.
Which of the visors was it that you wore?
Where? When? What visor? Why demand you this?
There, then, that visor, that superfluous case that hid the worse and showed the better face.
We were descried. They'll mock us now downright.
Let us confess and turn it to a jest.
Amaze, my lord. Why looks your highness sad?
Help, hold his brows, you'll swoon. Why look you pale? Seasick, I think, coming from Muscovy.
Thus pour the stars down plagues for perjury. Can any face of brass hold longer out? Here stand I, lady. Dart thy skill at me, bruise me with scorn, confound me with a flout, thrust thy sharp wit quite through my ignorance, cut me to pieces with thy keen conceit. And I will wish thee never more to dance, nor never more in Russian habit wait. Oh, never will I trust to speeches penned, nor to the motion of a schoolboy's tongue, nor never come in visor to my friend, nor woo in rhyme like a blind harper's song. Taffeta phrases, silken terms precise, three-piled hyperboles, spruce affectation, figures pedantical. These summer flies have blown me full of maggot ostentation. I do forswear them. And I here protest. By this white glove, how white the hand, God knows, henceforth my wooing mind shall be expressed in russet yeas and honest cursey noes. And to begin, wench, so God help me, Lord, my love to thee is sound, sans crack or flaw.
Sans, I pray you.
Yet I have a trick of the old rage. Bear with me, I am sick. I will leave it by degrees. Oh, soft. Let us see. Right, Lord, have mercy on us on those three. They are infected, in their hearts it lies. They have the plague and caught it of your eyes. These lords are visited. You are not free, for the Lord's tokens on you do I see.
Teach us, sweet madam, for our rude transgression some fair excuse.
The fairest is confession. Were not you here but even now disguised?
Madam, I was.
And were you well advised?
I was, fair madam.
When you then were here, what did you whisper in your lady's ear?
That more than all the world I did respect her.
When she shall challenge this, you will reject her.
Upon mine honor, no.
Peace, peace forbear. Your oath once broke, you force not to forswear.
Despise me when I break this oath of mine.
I will, and therefore keep it. Rosaline, what did the Russian whisper in your ear?
Madam, he swore that he did hold me dear as precious eyesight, and did value me above this world, adding thereto, moreover, that he would wed me, or else die my lover.
God give thee joy of him. The noble lord most honourably doth uphold his word.
What mean you, madam? By my life, my troth, I never swore this lady such an oath.
By heaven you did, and to confirm it plain, you gave me this. But take it, sir, again.
My faith, and this the princess I did give. I knew her by this jewel on her sleeve.
Pardon me, sir. This jewel did she wear? And Lord Barone, I thank him, is my dear. What? Will you have me or your pearl again?
Neither of either. I remit both twain. I see the trick on't. Here was a consent, knowing aforehand of our merriment, to dash it like a Christmas comedy. Some carry tale, some pease man, some slight zany, some mumble news, some trencher knight, some dick that smiles his cheek in years and knows the trick to make my lady laugh when she's disposed, told our intents before, which once disclosed, the ladies did change favours. And then we, following the signs, wooed but the sign of she. Much upon this 'tis.
Full merrily hath this brave marriage, this career been run.
No, he is tilting straight. Peace I have done. Ah, welcome, pure wit. Thou partest the fair fray.
Oh, Lord, sir, they would know whether the three worthies shall come in or no.
Are there but three?
No, sir, but it's verifying for everyone presents three.
And 3 times thrice is 9.
Not so, sir. Under correction, sir, I hope it is not so. You cannot beg us, sir, I can assure you, sir, we know what we know. I hope, sir, that 3 times thrice, sir.
Is not 9?
Under correction, sir, we know whereuntil it doth amount.
By heavens, I always took 3 threes for 9.
Oh, Lord, sir, it were pity you should get your living by reckoning, sir.
How much is it?
Oh, Lord, sir, well, the parties themselves, sir, the actors, sir, will show whereuntil it doth amount. For mine own part, I am, as they say, to perfect one man in one poor man, Pompeion the Great, sir.
Art thou one of the worthies?
It pleased them to think me worthy of Pompey the Great. For mine own part, I know not the degree of the worthy, but I am to stand for him.
Go, bid them prepare.
We will turn it finally off, sir. We will take some care.
Berone, they will shame us. Let them not approach.
Oh, we are shame-proof, my lord. And it is some policy to have one show worse than the king's and his company.
I say they shall not come.
Nay, my good lord, let me your ruler know. That sport best pleases that doth least know how. The seal strives to content, and the contents dies in the seal of that which it presents. Their form confounded makes most form in mirth, while great things labouring perish in their birth.
A right description of our sport, my lord.
Anointed, I implore as much
fresh expense of thy sweet royal breath, as will utter a breath of words.
Does this man serve God?
Why ask you?
He speaks not like a man of God's making.
That is all one, my fair, sweet honey monarch. For I protest, the schoolmaster is exceeding fantastical. Too vain, too vain. But we will put it, as they say, to fortuna de la guerre. I wish you the peace of mind, most royal compliment.
Here is like to be a good presence of worthies. He presents Hector of Troy, the swain Pompey the Great, the parish curate Alexander, Armado's page Hercules, the pedant Judas Maccabeus, and if these four worthies in their first show thrive, these four will change habits and present the other five.
There are 5 in the first show.
You are deceived, it is not so.
The pedant, the braggart, the hedge priest, the fool, and the boy. The whole world again cannot pick out 5 such. Take each one in his vein.
The ship is under sail, for here she comes amain.
Oi, Pompey am!
You lie, you are not he.
Oi, Pompey am!
With Livard's head on knee.
Well said, old mocker. I must needs be friends with thee.
Oi, Pompey am! Pompey surnamed the Big.
The Great?
Oh, right, it is great, sir. Pompey's surname the Great.
They're oft in field with targe and shield. Did make my foot a sweat. And travelling along this coast, I hear 'em come, by chance, to lay my arms before the legs of this sweet lass of France. If your ladyship would say thanks, Pompey, I had done.
Great thanks, great Pompey.
It was not so much worth, but I hope I was perfect. I made a little folding grate, sir.
My hat to a halfpenny. Pompey proves the best worthy.
When in the world I lived, I was the world's commander. By east, west, north, and south, I spread my conquering might. My scutcheon plain declares that I am Alice. And
Your nose says no, you're not, for it stands to right.
Your nose smells no in this most tender-smelling night.
The conqueror is dismayed. Proceed, good Alexander.
when in the world I lived, was the world's commander.
Most true, 'tis right, you were so, Alisander.
Pompey the Great,
Your servant and costard.
take away the conqueror. Take away Alisander.
Oh, sir, you have overthrown Alexander the Conqueror. You will be scraped out of the painted cloth for this. But your lion that holds his poleaxe sitting on a closed stool will be given to Ajax. He will be the 9th worthy. A conqueror and a fear to speak? Oh, run away for shame, Alexander. There, it shall please you. A foolish, mild man, an honest man look you, and soon dashed. But he's a marvellous good neighbour, Faith, and a very good bowler. But for Alexander, alas, you see, it is a little o'er-parted. Worthies are coming will speak their mind in some other sort.
Great Hercules is presented by this imp, whose club killed Cerberus, that three-headed Canis. And when he was a babe, a child, a shrimp, thus did he strangle serpents in his malice. Quoniam he seemeth in minority, ergo I come with this apology. Lipton state and I accident vanish. Judas I am.
Judas?
Not Iscariot, sir. Judas I am, eclipsed Maccabeus.
Judas Maccabeus clipped is plain Judas.
A kissing traitor, how thou prove, Judas?
Judas I am.
The more shame for you, Judas.
What? Mean you, sir?
To make Judas hang himself.
Oh, begin, sir. You are my elder.
Well followed. Judas was hanged on an elder.
I will not be put out of countenance.
Because
Judas,
thou hast no face.
What is this?
A cittern head.
The head of a bodkin.
A death's face in a ring.
The face of an old Roman coin, scarce seen.
The pommel of Caesar's falchion.
And now forward, for we have put thee in countenance.
You have put me out of countenance.
False, we have given thee faces.
But you have outfaced them all.
And wert thou a lion, we would do so.
And therefore, as he is an ass, let him go. And so are you, sweet Jude. Nay, why dost thou stay?
For the latter end of his name?
For the ass to the Jude, give it him. Judas away!
This is not generous, not gentle, not humble.
A light for Monsieur Judas, it grows dark, he may stumble.
Alas, poor Maccabeus. How hath he been baited?
Hide thy head, Achilles. Here comes Hector in arms.
Though my mocks come home by me, I will now be merry.
Hector was but a Trojan in respect of this.
But is this Hector?
I think Hector was not so clean timbered.
His leg's too big for Hector's.
More calf, certainly.
No, he's best endued in the small.
This cannot be Hector.
He's a god or a painter, for he makes faces.
The army Mars of Lanthus the Almighty gave Hector a gift.
A gilt nutmeg.
A lemon.
Stuck with cloves.
No, cloven.
Peace! The army Mars of Lanthus the Almighty gave Hector a gift, the heir of Ilion. A man so brave that certain he would fight ye, from morn till night, out of his pavilion. I am that flower.
That mint.
That Columbine.
Oh, sweet Lord Longueville, rein thy tongue.
I must rather give it the rein, for it runs against Hector.
Aye, and Hector's a greyhound.
The sweet wall man is dead and rotten. Sweet chucks beat not the bones of the buried. When he breathed, he was a man. But I will forward with my device. Sweet royalty bestow on me the sense of hearing.
Speak, brave Hector. We are much delighted.
I do adore thy sweet grace's sleeper.
Loves her by the foot.
He may not by the yard.
This Hector farce a mounted animal. The party is gone.
Hello, Hector. She is gone. She's 2 months on her way.
What meanst thou?
Faith, unless you play the honest Trojan, the poor wench is cast away. She's quick. The child brag's in her belly already, and it's yours.
What? Dost thou infaminize me among potentates? Thou shalt die.
Then will you be whipped for Jaquinetta that is quick by you, and hanged for Pompey that is dead by you.
Most rare Pompey!
Renowned Pompey!
Face for the big Pompey! Pompey the huge!
Hector tremble!
Pompey is moved, Moetes, Moetes! Stir them on, stir them on!
Hector will challenge him.
I may have no more man's blood in his belly than will suffer flee!
Well, by the North Pole, I do challenge thee.
I'll not fight with a pole like a northern man. I'll slash. I'll do it by the sword. I pray you, let me burrow my arms again.
Room for the incense, worthies.
Do it in my shirt.
Oh, most resolute Pompey.
Master, let me take you a buttonhole
Well,
off. Do you not see Pompey as uncasing for the combat? What mean you? You will lose your reputation.
Gentlemen and soldiers, pardon me, I will not combat in my shirt.
Nay, you may not deny it. Pompey hath made the challenge.
Sweet bloods, I both may and will.
And your reason for it?
The naked truth of it is that I have no shirt. I go woolward for penance, true.
But he was enjoined to Rome for one thing. Since when I swore he wore none of the discard of Jaquinettas and that he wears next his heart for a favour.
God save you, madam.
Welcome, Bacardi. But that thou interrupts our merriment.
I'm sorry, madam. For the news I bring is heavy in my tongue. The king, your father.
Dead. For my life.
Even so. My tale is told.
Worthies, away. The scene begins to cloud.
For mine own part, I breathe free breath. I have seen the day of wrong through the little hole of discretion, and will right myself like a soldier.
How fares your Majesty?
Boyet, prepare. I will away tonight.
Madam, not so, I do beseech you. Stay.
Prepare, I say. I thank you, gracious lords, for all your fair endeavours, and entreat out of a new sad soul that you vouchsafe in your rich wisdom to excuse or hide the liberal opposition of our spirits, if over boldly we are borne ourselves in the converse of breath. Your gentleness was guilty of it. Farewell, worthy lord. A heavy heart bears not a nimble tongue. Excuse me so, coming too short of thanks for my great suit so easily obtained.
The extreme parts of time extremely forms all causes to the purpose of his speed, and often at his very loose decides that which long process could not arbitrate. And though the mourning brow of progeny forbid the smiling courtesy of love, the holy suit that fain it would convince. Yet since love's argument was first on foot, let not the clouds of sorrow justle it from what it purposed. Since to wail friends lost is not by much so wholesome profitable, as to rejoice in friends but newly found.
I understand you not. My griefs are double.
Honest, plain words best pierce the ear of grief, and by these bodges understand the king. For your fair sakes have we neglected time, played foul play with our oaths. Your beauty, ladies, hath much deformed us, fashioning our humours even to the opposite end of our intents. And what in us hath seemed ridiculous, those heavenly eyes that look into these faults suggested us to make. Therefore, ladies, our love being yours, the error that love makes is likewise yours. We to ourselves prove false by being once false, forever to be true to those that make us both. Fair ladies, you.
We have received your letters full of love, your favours the ambassadors of love, and in our maiden council rated them at courtship, pleasant jest and courtesy, as bombast and as lining to the time. But more devout than this in our respects have we not been, and therefore met your loves, in their own fashion, like a merriment.
Our letters, madam, showed much more than jest.
So did our looks.
We did not quote them, sir.
Now, at the latest minute of the hour, grant us your loves.
Time, methinks, too short to make a world without end bargain in. No, no, my lord, your grace is perjured much, full of dear guiltiness. And therefore this. If for my love, as there is no such cause, you would do aught, this shall you do for me. Your oath I will not trust, but go with speed to some forlorn and naked hermitage remote from all the pleasures of the world. There stay, until the 12 celestial signs have brought about the annual reckoning. If this austere insociable life change not your offer made in heat of blood, if frosts and fasts, hard lodging and thin weeds nip not the gaudy blossoms of your love, but that they bear this trial and last love, then, at the expiration of the year, come, challenge me by these deserts, and by this virgin palm, now kissing thine, I will be thine. Until that instant, shut my woeful self up in a mourning house, raining the tears of lamentation for the remembrance of my father's death. If this thou do deny, let our hands part, neither entitled in the other's heart.
If this, or more than this, I would deny to flatter up these powers of mine with rest, the sudden hand of death close up mine eye. Hence, permit them. My heart is in thy breast.
And what to me, my love? And what to me?
You must be perjured too. Your sins are racked, you are attaint with faults and perjury. Therefore, if you my favour mean to get, at 12 months shall you spend and never rest, but seek the weary beds of people sick.
But what to me, my love? But what to me, a wife?
A beard, fair health and honesty. With threefold love, I wish you all these three.
Or shall I say, I thank you, gentle wife?
Not so, my lord. A 12-month and a day I'll mark no words that smooth-faced wooers say. I'll come when the king doth to my lady come. Then if I have much love, I'll give you some.
I'll serve thee true and faithfully till then.
Oh, yet swear not, lest I'll be forsworn again.
What says Maria?
At the 12 months' end, I'll change my black gown for a faithful friend.
I'll stay with patience, but the time is long.
The like are you? Few taller are so young.
Studies, my lady. Now, mistress, look on me.
Oft have I heard of you, my Lord Biron, before I saw you. And the world's large tongue proclaims you for a man replete with mocks, full of comparisons and wounding flouts, which you on all estates will execute that lie within the mercy of your wit. To weed this wormwood from your fruitful brain, and therewithal to win you, if you please, without the which I am not to be won. You shall, this 12-month term, from day to day, visit the speechless sick, and still converse with groaning wretches. And your task shall be, with all the fierce endeavour of your wit, to enforce the pained impotent to smile.
To move wild laughter in the throat of death. It is impossible. It cannot be. No, mirth cannot move a soul in agony.
Why? That's the way to choke a jibing spirit, whose influence is begot of that loose grace that shallow, laughing hearers give to fools. A jest's prosperity lies in the ear of him that hears it, never in the tongue of him that makes it. Then, if sickly ears, deft with the clamour of their own dear groans, will hear your idle scorns, continue then, and I will have you and that fault withal. But if they will not, throw away that spirit, and I will find you empty of that fault, right joyful of your reformation.
Oh, a 12-month. Will befall what will befall. I'll jest. A 12-month in a hospital.
Aye, sweet my lord. And so I take my leave.
No, madam. We will bring you on your way.
Our wooing doth not end like an old play. Jack hath not Jill. These ladies' courtesy might well have made our sport a comedy.
Come, sir, it wants but a 12-month and a day, and then 'twill end.
That's too long for the play.
Sweet majesty, vouchsafe me.
Was not that Hector?
The worthy knight of Troy.
I will kiss thy royal finger and take leave. I am a votary. I have vowed to Hecaneta to hold the plough of our sweet love 3 years. But, most esteemed greatness, will you hear the dialogue that the two learned men have compiled in praise of the owl and the cuckoo It should have followed in the end of our show.
Call them forth quickly. We will do so.
Ola, approach. This side is Ions, winter. This, the spring. The one maintained by the owl, the other by the cuckoo. The biggie.
When daisies bright and violets blue, and lady smocks all silver white, and cuckoo buds of yellow hue do paint the meadows with delight. The cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men for passings he. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Oh, what a fear of gazing to a married pair. When shepherds by London strolls and merry lads of market flocks, and turtles tread and rooks and daws, and maidens bleat their summer smocks. The cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men for passing see. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Oh, what a fear of gazing to a married pair.
When icicles hang by the wall, and Dick the shepherd blows his nail, and Tom bears logs into the hall, and milk comes frozen home in pail. When blood is nipped and ways be foul, then nightly sings the staring owl. Do it, do a merry note, while breezy Joan doth keel the pot. When all aloud the wind doth blow, and coughing drowns the parson's saw, and birds sit brooding in the snow, and Marion's nose looks red and raw. When roasted crabs hiss in the bowl, then nightly sings the staring owl. Do it, do a merry note, while breezy Joan doth keel the pot.
The words of Mercury are harsh after the songs of Apollo. You that way, we this